Hi, what up, YouTube? This is No Cap, No Filter back at y'all another episode of Running With You. And I want to get into this topic, man. I was thinking about this, man. Like, when it comes to women, they got a lot of long list of things that they want a man to provide for them. They have their standards. A man got to look this way, a man got to act this way. He got to be providing financial security, he got to be providing security in general. He got to be a problem solver. He has to be leading with his masculinity aggressively and gently at the right times. He has to be emotionally available. He has to know how to communicate. That's probably one of the number one things that they say. It's a long list of things, probably thicker than the yellow pages. But when it comes to asking a female, what do they man want out of them? That list not as long. And they always usually think to themselves, I don't know what a man want. But men, let me tell you one thing about us. We very simple creatures. It's not hard to please a man. We basically just want to be fed. We basically just want our peace. We basically just want our life to be easier and be an asset, don't be a liability. And, of course, lady in the street, freak in the sheets. Be loyal. Don't be out here and embarrassing me, But I guess that's too hard to ask for. But, all we want is for you to come in our life and make it easier. If you see our life, if you see a man and y'all dating and, you thinking about, taking things to the next level, learn him, figure out how he goes about his daily routine on a daily basis and figure out a way to insert yourself and make that easier. If you know he's a man and he has a job, he has a uniform, that uniform need to be clean. Go ahead on, take liberty. A man like a woman that's going to take liberty and do things. There's some women, they'll come by your house. It could be probably the first date by your house. They'll take the liberty and clean up the room. Men, we really like that. We take note of that because you separate yourself from the other women. So if you know your man has a job and he has a uniform, that uniform got to get cleaned by the end of the week. Usually people, they like to clean on Sundays. Go ahead on, take the liberty of things, clean it on a Saturday or a Friday. Go ahead on and be like, yeah, man, I got your clothes that was in the hamper. I took the liberty and go ahead on and wash them myself while you was gone. He gonna appreciate that. He gonna make a mental note of that. If your dude, he like to work out. He like to eat consume a certain smoothie or something. Go ahead on, have that smoothie ready for him by the time he leave and head to the gym, or have it ready for him by the time he come back for the gym. Pack his gym bag. Pack his running shoes if he about to get ready to go jog after work or something like that. Just be on board with his program. Insert yourself to make his life easier. Be an asset. Don't be a liability. Because if you're a liability and you one of them girls who just what I want to say, you very high maintenance. If he the type of guy that don't like to spend extra money on no high maintenance stuff, and he really feel like it's a waste of money, then you might need to cut back on that unless you just very rewarding of it, or if he just got the money like that. Now, if he ain't really just got the money like that, you probably need to cut back on your standards. And like I said, you want to be an asset more than a liability. You want to be a girl that be hard to replace if y'all were to break up. Because like I say, a lot of girls ain't gonna do certain stuff that you would probably take liberty to if doing. So if a lot of girls won't do that, you're gonna be hard to replace, and he's not gonna lose you. Especially if you like to cook and he like to eat a certain way. If he on a strict diet, if he like to eat a certain way, he on a strict diet. He probably juicing. He's probably on a keto diet. He's probably a pescatarian, or he's a vegetarian or something like that. If he really liked a certain way that you cook, that'll be hard to replace, especially if you're very finesse in the kitchen. Like I say, man, we very simple creatures. And on top of that, don't just be out here and embarrassing us. Most men, not all men, We like and we appreciate a lady in the street, freak in the streets. So if you out here, you represent me out and about, even if you represent me on your Instagram or your TikTok or whatever, keep it classy. Keep it classy. You know, now the dudes who don't care about that, that's probably a red flag right there. But that's a whole nother story. Now, the dudes who don't care about that, that'll let you know what type of dude you're dealing with right there. You know, because if he don't care about that, he probably either don't care about you, or he probably feeling like, you know, well, if I do care about that with her, then she would probably think I'm insecure, and that'll start into a whole argument and this, that, and the third. That right there is a red flag, because now he's scared to, you know, say his true feelings on what he feel about a certain thing that you doing on your side. But you know, what else? Like I say, man, we very simple. Be our peace. We out there, we making money, bringing bacon home, you know, putting food on the table, making sure the kids got a roof over their head, making sure they got clothes over their back. We out here, you know, negotiating deals. If we are entrepreneur, we out here fighting for hours and overtime if we work in a job. The last thing we want to do is come home and argue with our girl. We going debating with our boss about a raise, a promotion. We going back and forth with clients on a business deal if they're an entrepreneur. We doing all this clashing with the world. We don't want to come back and clash and debate with our girl. That's the last thing we want to do. One of the best feelings of a man is to come home, his girl not nagging to him, his girl being, you know, in there cooking. He's smelling that food as soon as he get up in there, and the food damn near already on the table. Shower is already running. Bed clothes for the night already laid out on the dresser. That's one of the best feelings of a man. Kids, they already doing homework on the kitchen table. Or they finishing up the homework. They probably up in their room watching a movie. That's one of the best feelings that a man can come home to. A man don't want to come home into no food on the table, kids running around, kids need to be changed, bath water not ready, you know, like, and then you hooping and hollering in a dude's face as soon as he hit the door. That's one of the worst things a man could come home to, especially if it's not warranted. And even if it is warranted and you got something that you feel disturbed about or mad about, it's a certain way that you address that. Right when a man walked through the door, that's not the time to address that. Screaming to the top of your lungs, that's not the tone to address that. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to what a man wants from their woman, it's very simple, bro. We just want peace. We want matureness. Keep it cute, keep it classy out in them streets. Don't embarrass me. Find a way to make yourself an asset and make my life easier. Make my life easier. When it comes to the 50-50 debate and all this and all that, a lot of dudes wouldn't even much mind playing 100% of the bills if they know their house gonna be clean, if they know their clothes is gonna be washed, if they know food is gonna be on the table, if they know their kids are gonna be taken care of, if they know all these things that, because when it comes to the bills and the rent and all that, he would have to pay 100% of that, even if he was alone. So if he's paying 100% of that and you living with him, why are you making his life even worse off? You see what I'm saying? If you're going to be living with him and he's paying all of that, make his life easier. Why pay 100% of the bills when your clothes is not washed, food is not getting cooked, when you could pay 100% of the bills and you could do all that by yourself, minus the headache? You might as well pay 100% of the bills and come home to clean clothes, clean house, cook food, kids taken care of, everything's tidied up. It's very simple. You know what I'm saying? Now, A relationship ain't gonna be all peaches and cream and perfect 100% of the time. That's just not reality. But it's a time and a place to, you know, carry out your frustrations or something that's bothering you, you know, because one of the things that we can't stand the most is the nagging, you know. And you might genuinely be a good girl. You probably just got that one fault of just nagging and complaining and, you know, being over dramatic, you know, extra emotional about certain things. But, you know, just kind of like lay off that, you know, just kind of like lay off that and just figure out how you could just better yourself and just have a real conversation and talk, you know, have a real conversation. What you could do. How can I help you? You know, what do you need me to do for this to move in a better direction? You know what I'm saying? But that's all men want. Like I say, man, if you're making his life harder and you being a liability, either financially, emotionally, mentally, if it's just draining him, that it's probably not gonna last long. It's probably not gonna last long. Because like I said, you could be a liability when it comes to finances, trying to go shop and be purchasing things that's unnecessary to the household. You could be a liability when it comes to just his mental, just overly nagging, not giving him peace. And, you know, people need their space. That's why I believe in man caves. That's why I believe in, you know, a girl going kick it with her friends, you know, maybe like once or twice a week. I ain't saying going to the clubs once or twice in a week, but, you know, just go by a friend's house or her and her friends have a hobby or something. You know, you go to the gym with your friends. I go to the gym with my friends. People could use that space to have time to miss each other and come together even stronger. You feel me? Now, I wouldn't go as far as living in the same house with two different rooms. That's what Travis Hunter and this girl do. I never seen that. Yeah, they live in the same house with two separate rooms, sleep in two different beds. Now, that's crazy. The more and more I hear about that relationship, the more and more I just know that ain't gonna last too long. Now, who knows? I might be wrong. They might last way longer than we think. But at the end of the day, man, women, like I said, man, we simple creatures. We creatures of habit. Like, if we got a routine, we kind of like to stick by our routine. We don't really want change. You know, so figure out what our routine is. Get on our program. Figure out, okay, I know he like to do this on this day. He like to do that on that day. Generally, on most days, he's leaving this time. He's coming back at this time. He like this a certain way. He like that a certain way. Figure out how to just make his life easier, you know, just abroad, especially if you're a housewife. Now, if you're a woman and you work too and he work, then okay, it's just certain things that y'all probably gonna have to compromise on, especially depending on your schedule. But in general, you know, even if y'all both working, in general, he's most likely working more longer hours. And if you could, you know, get home and just have certain things ready for him, that'll be great. But I'm pretty sure y'all could compromise on things and he'll have an understanding that, you know, certain things, you know, probably ain't gonna get done every single day, day in and day out. And if he a grown man, he'll understand that. Like I said, man, communication rule a nation. But that's all I want to say, man. When it comes to what men really want from their woman, that's basically it. You know, we want an asset, not a lot of liability. We want peace. We want things done around the house. Of course, the sex matters. The sex definitely matters. I ain't gonna say we want it on demand, but you know, damn, there are more often than not when the man is in that mood, I think he'll like to be pleased. But other than that, you know, that's basically what we want down to a science, man. Very simple creatures of habit, creatures of routine, man. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below if I missed anything.